we had the whole conversation set up, and then
So, should we just do it again?
let's start. No, you know how you come back? I came back from university, and my parents are like, "It's time to do some chores."
Okay.
And I'm just like, "Oh, no, like they have to ask you to do chores." And I'm like, "Well, you guys were doing just fine without me, but now they got me doing everything."
That's the shit I hate, bro. I'm not even Africans, like other cultures too, right? They always want you in their presence. And then once you're there, they'll just tell you to do this and do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like I don't. I'm like, we're getting older. I can't keep doing this.
Wait,
shit.
you know what's funny? Actually, I
What?
saw a video that says that's actually a love language. Like every time they call you to do something like pick up the remote, it's called like a bit of affection, where they're trying to see if you'll respond in a way that shows that you like love them or something. And that's why they ask you to do that shit. And it kind of put it in perspective. Like I'm still not gonna do it. But now I understand like why you do it. I don't know, man.
Love language.
It's apparently like if you give them the remote, even though it's like a petty thing, it shows that you care for them. Bro, don't ask me. I just saw a TikTok that said same word.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, a married couple was doing it. She was like, "Could you pass me the remote?" And he said, "Well, I mean, I know it's petty, but apparently that shows that I love you or something." So he just does it. And I was like, I guess this is the same thing that goes on. I don't know, man.
Really?
I'm just
That's
talking,
interesting.
man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So you passing the remote means that you're affection.
Shows that like they're making a bit of affection to see, oh, would you do this thing for me? And if you would do that remote thing for them, it means that you would do more for them. I don't know, man. What I'm trying to say is that it doesn't matter if it makes sense logically or not. It's just like something like it's like a need they require, whether it's logical or not, that they need you to display. I don't know, man. I'll do more research on it, but I swear to God, I was like,
nah,
because it makes no sense for them to ask you to pass them the remote, so there has to be something deeper.
No, it is probably deeper, to be honest. Yeah, introduce the topic. Like, what are you?
I was thinking today about like hair, Nigerian hair, to be more. Like I know this topic has a lot to do.
Hot.
It's
topic's
interesting.
hot.
This topic and the head in school every time.
Yo,
And
they ever call them fresh cuts at your school?
I think so. Yeah,
Fresh cuts, right? They call it fresh cuts. Yo, if you were bald at the back of your head, bro, they'd come for you and they just slap your head. And
I hated that shit so much. Came a lot.
Wait, you got that in elementary school or high school?
Elementary school. In high school,
Wait, you got it at elementary?
just the elementary school. High school too,
bro. No, for me, I started getting fresh cuts in high school. Like the slap in high school.
Oh no, I got mine. They were just slapping my head in elementary school.
Oh shit, bro. Damn. So you've been going.
Yeah, no, I've been going through it.
Oh shit. Speaking of hair though, like growing up Nigerian, you already know, bro. They don't fuck with like anything like long hair. Even if you braid it, twist it, bro. You know my dad. Bro, it was a battle.
I know your dad.
It was a
bro.
battle.
Never mind. I was gonna bring it up, but it might be too deep for the podcast topic. Never worry.
Wait, what are you gonna bring up?
Like I'm thinking of like I want everybody to know this guy got like a scholarship to go to the States to run track and field, and his dad said no. Nah, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, you know, if I start talking about that shit, bro, I might get emotional.
Yeah, no.
But
Forget
nah,
that.
it's whatever. Nah, but that was really extra with the hair. Like, I never really understood it. Like I never thought it was a big issue. You know, it's just hair, and you cut it, it grows back. You know, but I guess with our parents, right, they thought it was like our hair means more than just hair, right? It kind of represents a certain part of ourselves, right? So that's why they thought like, you know, having low hair would mean you're more mature. Having long hair, it means like you're like a gangster.
Yeah, you're like a ruffian. Like there's so much negative connotations associated with like black hair identity. Like I'm imagining what it's like for us as like black men, just like imagine like black women, but for us especially, like having like locks is seen as like an unprofessional hairstyle in the workplace as opposed to like clean cut waves. And it's just so problematic because like I'm thinking about for like other people, they don't have such negative connotations, whatever like hairstyle they would have.
That's true. Yeah.
They can just like go, I want a mullet today. It looks cool. Or maybe I got a buzz cut to look cool too. But they'll never be like, that's a weird or like as a bad like gangster type of haircut.
Exactly.
Like, there's not even like a sentence that exists. So I feel like hair is racialized in that kind of sense. But
I think it definitely is, especially like if we're black, right? Like people who have dreadlocks, right? You know, there's some workplaces where it requires you to actually go and cut your hair, because it's seen as being rough.
That's craziness.
Which is
I don't
think I don't know, but
there's a law passed that actually makes sure you can't cut your hair to look more professional.
Wait, there's a law passed?
Like I've seen something like they can't discriminate based on like I don't know if it's Ontario. We'll put that somewhere in the video. But they can't just like discriminate based on your. I mean, they clearly will like subconsciously, but they can't outwardly do so. So I guess maybe you might have to get it cut.
I saw this video. I don't know if it was I think it was in America, but some guy can actually graduate because of his hair. Like, he had to cut it before graduation, and he had
That's
dreadlocks.
crazy.
And you know it's crazy because like you just wear the cap, so you could easily just tie it.
That's
and, like,
crazy. That's
but I guess if they're sticking out, you have to cut it. But like, what makes it different from like, say for example, Caucasian people with long hair, right? Where it's just more seen as in society as like that's whatever. You know, nobody really questions it. Nobody says, oh, you got to cut your hair, right? But if it's for us, we have like long hair, right? They see it as rough, which is kind of.
And what does it mean that a society gets to police the ways one can express their facial features or, you know, just their hair? What does it mean that society can police and say, well, we determine like what kind of hair you wear determines what kind of person you are is the weirdest shit to me. How like a state can be like, yes, we can look at these people as like gangsters and criminals. And I'm like, whoa, there's no way you have the authority to say that about a whole group of people.
That's true.
That's just bizarre.
I don't know. It's wild that, you know, discrimination is still a real thing that's happening, right? So speaking about hair, let's talk about you. Cause growing up, bro, I remember your haircuts, bro. Bro, I swear your dad hated you, bro. Fam, if I can find a picture, I'm gonna put it up here, bro. I swear your dad hated you, bro. No, guys, let me tell you something. This guy, every time I saw this guy, not a buzz cut. You know you can get a buzz cut. You have a bit of hair, bro. Bald, completely, no hairline, nothing, just gone. But you know what this crazy part was? Your dad had a fresh cut, bro. Bro, how is your dad fresher than you, bro? Your dad had the hairline crisp.
No, you know what it was? I swear to God, like bro's been cutting his hair for a while, like trying to be like an entrepreneur or some kind of shit, right? My mom would be like, you have to cut your kid's hair. And bro's like, all right, I guess I'll do it. Bro did not care. He just sat us down and stay still, just went.
Bro, he just buzzed you, bro, every time, bro.
It was nonsense. And then when it was time for his haircut, he was like, all right, let's take my time. I need a fresh cut for church.
I see him. I literally see him. He's the freshest nigga there, bro. With the lineup, doing his kids dirty, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, like my dad, he stopped cutting my hair around, let's say around 10, right? And then that's when I started going to the barbershop and stuff like that. But I'm assuming for you, it was.
I did not go to the barbershop. I did not go to the barbershop till I was in grade 10. I did not go to the barbershop till I was in grade 10. I'm telling you right now, like all of high school and like middle school, I would just grow my hair out and it'd be weird. And my parents were like, go cut it. And they would just like cut it themselves. My dad would just cut it himself. And I remember the first time like I got like a fresh fade in grade 10. I'm not even kidding. Like girls started looking at me different. I'm not even joking. Because it was just the biggest bum walking around school every day. I get an actual fade from a barber and they're like, wait, James, you're kind of attractive.
I'm telling you, the haircut really makes it different. Like a proper haircut.
That's so crazy. Yeah.
Yo, but like. That's crazy though, because up until grade 10, you were always having the buzz cuts, right?
Yeah.
And then you saw like girls weren't really coming at you or whatever. But then once you got the fresh cut,
I think it is back.
Oh, okay. Once you got the fresh cut, you know, people started noticing you more.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy how a haircut can actually make a difference.
No, I think that. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Yep, that'd be rad. Thanks to that. Everybody say thanks to that.
Okay.
I feel like, I don't know, there's something about haircuts and the black identity that allows it to completely transform your appearance. And I think more so drastically. I don't know if it's the facial features. I have to like search this up, but it's more than I feel like any other race because you can get, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and here's, bro. Oh my God. Let me tell you about something. You know, I watched Atlanta, this show with Donald Glover, right? And in the first season, he has his hair like it's just growing out. He's not taking care of it. And I started thinking about that. Like, why do we have to get weekly haircuts? Like, who else is doing that? You know what I'm saying?
True, yeah.
Like, I'm like, free my people from the shackles of weekly haircuts. We're paying like $20 every like 2 weeks. How can we build generational wealth when we're getting bi-weekly haircuts? That's all I have to say, man.
Bro, I think it's because like in society, they view our hair as like being rough, right? So we gotta clean.
And that's crazy. That is literally like racist. It's
literally racism, but I guess a lot of black people has just accepted it as like, oh, I gotta go get cleaned up. You can have a Caucasian person, right? They grow out their hair for a long time. Nobody's gonna tell that person to cut it.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna question
And if
it.
it gets really long, they're just like, oh, I see you going for that long hair look. Apparently,
Yep.
it's in style. The worst you get called is a hippie. That is literally the worst thing that you get called. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's crazy, but I think just because for our hair, like, I don't know if you can tell I have curls in my hair, right? So I gotta like take care of it. And like the more I like started doing my hair, the more I start to learn. And our hair is just naturally prone to like dryness and just breaking.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it's just naturally dry. Like there's no oils. You gotta like put essential oils in it, like olive oil and stuff.
And
like
that's
that.
the thing, right? I think that because they're too scared of like you like growing your hair out. I think also when you pay attention to your hair and take care of it, it's seen as like feminine, I would say, within like a Nigerian cultural context,
sure, yeah.
which is a bit of a problem because I was growing my hair out like right now it's like really short, but I remember a couple months ago I showed up to church,
I remember that, yeah.
and like my hair was like I had a lot of hair, but I just didn't know how to take care of it because my entire life they were like, James, like just cut that shit short. And I'm like, well, okay, now I just look like crazy and nappy. And we talked about how you can't have like rough hair. It's seen as like rough. Everybody's accepted it.
Yeah.
But like even like your relatives have accepted that. Like I'll pull up to church and every time someone will tell me, James, you're not gonna comb your hair. They'll just keep making comments on my appearance, and I'm just like, bro, this is like so tough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess that's just how it's seen in our culture, as just having like when you grow out your hair long, it's just seen as rough or whatever, and then you gotta pick it out, right? But who isn't to say that growing out your hair and having a nappy is like normal? You know what I mean? Because
That's what I'm saying.
back then they didn't really have like the tools to like straighten their hair or whatever. They didn't have weave back then, right? You just kind of grow it out. I'm talking about like back then, like maybe like 1800s.
Yeah.
Like that, right. But who wasn't to say that's like our natural way of like having our hair?
I
right?
fully agree. But listen, right? If you walk up to your friends and say, guys, why don't we all just leave our hair be? They will call you a bum who doesn't want to take care of themselves.
Exactly.
I remember I was actually like talking about this. I was like, guys, I'm not taking care of my hair because who is society to say what my hair should look like?
Exactly.
And they were just laughing. They're like, James, you're just a bum and you have nappy hair. And I was like, this is craziness. Like, I'm too woke for them to understand.
Yo, do you think it was like Caucasian people in the society that told us that our hair is rough, or was it like our own?
Well, I mean, black people have never been like the beauty standards to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So I feel like already being told that like we are not the most attractive people or conventionally attractive to begin with, and then within that creating like little subsections of what can be considered attractive. Like Michael B. Jordan, for example, you can be like, this is an attractive black person. By doing stuff like that, you can then get black people to rally behind it and be like, actually, you know what? Yeah, if you're gonna give us something to look attractive, at least, okay, then fine, we'll adhere to this like standard of attractiveness. And I'm like, bruh, okay. I'm like, I feel like, and then now we all collectively decide as like a people to be like, yes, okay, this is how it should be. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But you know me, man. Like I want to get some hoes, so I'm gonna adhere to it too. Like if they say that's what's attractive, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yo, you gotta do what the people want. Like if that's what the style is at that point. Waves, and if you have proper waves, right? Waves can really change your appearance.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah.
Like, some women really love waves, right? So that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. But it's just unfortunate how society they made it so that there's only certain hairstyles that we can rock that are like seen as good or seen as like proper, and then that are seen as like not okay in society, or like you look rough. And then with the hairstyles there's comes prejudice, right? So like people, you have dreadlocks, and I don't know,
dreadlocks actually, even his name is racist, like the dreadlocks. Apparently it's just like locks, we call them now, apparently, because that's like carrying a negative connotation. Like, why are they dreadlocks? I don't think they were originally called that.
Oh really?
Because dread was a negative emotion to possess towards that hairstyle. I can't think that.
I didn't even know that.
I go through TikTok comments and they say we don't call them dreadlocks anymore.
So dreadlocks was a Caucasian thing that they
maybe we're gonna research that as well.
See, I don't want to be saying stuff that I don't know.
We don't know,
but
apparently you can't go on Twitter or TikTok and say dreadlocks. And I kind of mess with that too, because like, what other name has some kind of negative emotion in the thing? Like,
why is it dread?
I don't think it has anything to do with the like twisting style or whatever. So it's probably just like a weird ass name. I don't know.
I never thought of it like that, yo.
Yo.
Oh, shit. Coming back to dreadlocks, right? So my dad, you know my dad, right?
Oh, I know your dad.
No, you know him,
I know your dad.
No, yo, this guy is probably the most judgmental person you'll ever see. Like he won't say it to your face. That's the thing. He'll judge you the way he like talks to you or interacts with you, is based on like, you know, your appearance or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh yeah.
sometimes I'll be in the car with my dad, right? He'll see a guy with dreadlocks, and right away he'll just be like, "Oh, that's a ruffian." Like, you know what I mean? And
That's
just,
crazy.
You know
You're
what
in
I
the
mean?
car too.
Yeah, I'm just like, yo, you can't be you know, I'm not gonna like talk up to him or anything, you know, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, this guy's just really judging. And it's crazy because like I just don't know where it came from in Nigerian culture to be judging like that. I don't know. Cause like I knew because like, you know, when they grew up and everything, they always had like short hair and everything. But to be like, I don't know, like, you know, he's also black too. So
we have to do some research, right? Because this is where it actually gets a bit complex. We never grew up in Nigeria, particularly. Like, I came here when I was like 5-ish. Well, I just know that I spent like 5 or less years in Nigeria.
Oh shit.
But there's like, even within, I would say, the Nigerian community, there are like anti-black sentiments concerning hair. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put it this way: like, we came here, and I would see guys wearing cornrows or like just twist, and that was just cool. That is like cool African Canadian culture. It's cool black culture. And in that sense, you have to understand there's like a distinction between black as a culture and black as a race.
That's
like,
true,
we're part of the black race, but we're not necessarily in the black culture. There's like an Atlanta episode fully on this entire concept. It's called like Rich Wigga, Poor Wigga, and it's actually like a really like insightful thing about like the difference between the cultures. And then I don't know, just concerning stuff like that. That's why I never like judge people whenever they have like a different hairstyle or if their hair is quote unquote nappy or not looking neat. I'm like, that's none of my business. If I see someone with like a nappy haircut, it is not my, like, I'm still gonna treat them like normally because we all have like our own things we're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might have problems or insecurities with your hair. Like, someone can't just walk up to you and be like, bro, you are not looking good right now. You got a yee ass haircut, and he's already down. Like, that might be the last straw. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And then that's it. Yeah, I try not to judge as much. You know, my parents, they, I knew they grew up in a tough society, right? And, you know, they want the best for me, right? And just for my future.
That's true. That's true.
The stuff that they do, I understand where it comes from, but at the same time, it is still wrong. You know, you can't really judge somebody just based off appearance. You know, that's literally what slavery was back then. You know what I mean?
I get it. They're trying to be like looking out for us, but I'm like, bro, what you're looking out for is like aligning with like white supremacy. Literally, just like being like, yeah, you know what? They see us this way, so let's try not to be that way ever. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I get like what you're talking about, but then it's just gonna permanently stay this way.
And nothing's gonna change. There's not gonna be any change.
And
if we want change, we gotta start doing things differently. We gotta start looking at the way we do stuff differently, right? Our situation is very special. Our parents are a bit more strict, right? Yeah. So like getting braids, getting twists, right? You're just gonna see it as like something bad. It's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. There's people who are smart that have braids. There's people who are smart that have dreadlocks, you know what I mean? So I feel like we gotta remove this negative connotation from having these hairstyles as being bad, right? And just seeing it as, oh, okay, it's like a normal thing, because like only blacks can really pull this off. Like these certain hairstyles, like braids, like really good braids, twists, like dreads, right? You know,
yeah, because they are protective hairstyles.
They're protective hairstyles for
curly hair.
Yeah,
that's supposed to help them grow better and be safe without like, you know, the ends, because you know the ends need not as much manipulation or whatever.
Exactly.
And it's like, bro, I literally just learned that like maybe like 7 months ago.
That's the thing. They don't teach that. Like when I started doing my hair, right? I didn't know any of this shit until like I really started doing it. I started just curling up my hair, trying different things. You know, I twisted when my parents leave, whatever. You know, and then I realized, like, as I started to do it, I realized, oh, okay, this is like a way to protect your hair. Like people who get braids and dreads, right? It's not necessarily the style sometimes, but maybe it's like just a better way to manage the hair, because you know our hair is obviously harder to manage, right?
Oh yeah,
way harder than white, you know.
And bruh, that's why I like fudge with twists so much, and like long hair, I fudge with that so much. But my problem is like, I am not the kind of person who can like apportion that time to take care of my appearance like that. Like I will look for the simplest thing to make me look like, I look for the least amounts of effort to attractiveness ratio. I'm like, what is the least I can do to still be attractive? I'm like, just cut my hair low and just relax. So that's why my hair is low. It's because I'm not trying to wake up and like spend 15 minutes to be quote unquote presentable to the world. That's not my vibe, bro.
A lot of people do get short hair just for that. It's because it's just easier to manage, right, than long hair. Because if you have long hair and it's like nappy, right, and you're going to like a job interview, you can't just go, you know, you can't just wake up, you know, like a Caucasian person could wake up, or like not even Caucasian, but just other people with like
not
hair.
curly hair.
Yeah, they can just wake up, you know, maybe just brush it once or twice and go out their day. Us, like especially if we have nappy hair, we gotta either we're gonna cut it that day if we have an interview, or we gotta like pick it out and make sure it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we can't just like leave the house like that. And it's crazy how society just views our hair as being, especially if it's not taken care of through their eyes, right? It's seen as like bad or whatever. And I feel like that shit needs to really change, you know?
Well, I don't know. So all I gotta say is I be like unapologetically black, like for the most part. Like I would say I'm trying to normalize walking outside of my house with my hair just like nappy. Like I
whatever
don't care.
it is, right?
I'm trying to be able to walk out putting in minimal effort to make it presentable. Like I think people should have that right and not constantly have to be worried about like I'm so disheveled right now. Like, are you really disheveled, or have you just always been told you're disheveled? Like, bro, do you think picks always existed? Do you think twisting gel was around like 100, 200 years ago?
There was no such thing.
Like,
There's
just
no such
relax.
Thing as edges,
I don't know, man.
None of that, bro.
I don't know.
No, but I definitely agree. I feel like it should be normalized. And people should just start looking at it as a hairstyle as just like, this is just how our hair is, you know? Hair is naturally dry. Yeah, it does break off more, but like this is just how it is. We're born like this, right? So you shouldn't dictate how we should, you know, present our hair towards the world, right? Yeah, I guess this is how we're gonna end it.
Yeah, man.
First episode. But if you guys enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on for more content. You got anything else to say? All right, this is it. Let's get it.